Okay. Well, back to your 24-hour dietary recall we just went over. Could you name a couple things that might have carbs in it?
The apple juice definitely would.
Apple juice. Yes.
Not
Yes.
sure how many, but I know they would.
Good. Okay.
With the salad, probably just a salad dressing.
Okay.
And then for dinner, the mac and cheese and potatoes both would have.
Okay. And then.
And snack, definitely chips.
Okay. Okay. And then actually, your diet cherry Pepsi would also have some where, like all the added sugars or anything like that. It would also have a little bit, if that's all right. And then now going back over your carbohydrate choices, um, I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head completely about how many carbs are in your apple juice, but say in your apple juice there were around 30 carbs. How many carbohydrate choices would that be?
That would be two.
Two? Okay, yep. Okay. So you've caught on to that fairly quickly.
Yes.
That's great. And ideally, with carbohydrate choices throughout the day, you want them to be spread out evenly. So that way your body doesn't fluctuate as much, and it's easier to keep control of your insulin.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then looking over your recall again, where you said you didn't have lunch, where you didn't eat lunch yesterday, that's something like if you could try to get a little snack in here or there, would that be something you could be able to do on a
Yes.
daily basis? Okay. I know you said when you work that you usually do eat lunch, but on days where you don't, at least, and the pretzels were a great idea to help get a little bit of carbs in your body, help keep your insulin and glucose levels kind of steady through that. And then, do you have a go-to snack if you ever? I know some people speak about how they can feel their insulin or their glucose going up and down. Do you have a go-to snack when it comes to that?
Usually pretzels.
Pretzels? Okay. That's a good carbohydrate choice because it isn't completely sugar, but it's going to be something that your body could use. Um, and then again for dinner, that's a great that you have the mac and cheese and the baked potato. If about how much of each would you say?
Just a small baked potato. So
Okay.
that's, I would say, maybe two carb choices, I'm guessing.
That's actually correct because a large baked potato, a fourth of it would be a carb choice. So depending on the actual size of your smaller potato, then yeah, that actually be pretty close to what you're looking at. And then in your mac and cheese, about how much mac and cheese would you say you eat?
Just a serving.
Just a serving?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, that would also be another carbohydrate choice. And just in case you don't have a list or anything around you, are you very familiar with reading nutrition labels?
A little bit, but not a whole lot.
All right. Well, I have one here for us that we could look over real quick. And right here, you're gonna while all of these are important, what we're gonna kind of go over today, which you can use in detail more with everything else, will be with the carbohydrates. And right here, it says there are 19 grams in a serving of carbohydrates. And to tell that and to look and see, is that the whole bag's worth of carbohydrates, or is it just a serving and there's more than one serving in the bag? You would come up here and look. In the top part, in the top line, it's usually in the very top part of the box. It will say servings per bag, about 2.5. Okay?
Okay.
So that means that 19, that means there's 2.5 of those in there. So about how many carbohydrate choices would 19 be?
19 would be about 1
Yeah, just a little over 1, just to make it a little bit simpler. And then, so if there's 1 in one of those, in one serving, how many would there be throughout the entire box? Or in the entire bag?
Probably 3.
3? Yep, that's great. So now that we got that, and you can also use that to look more, it's like your protein where there's 3 grams, or your fat which has 9, and then you could just go from there, and that way you could really try to figure out ways to balance your diet. And here I have a little plan of a carbohydrate choice,
Okay.
of a little carbohydrate diet plan listed out throughout the day. And here, as you can see, I have it put where you would like to try to keep it as even as possible. That way, like I said earlier, balance is. So, is something you could do for breakfast that could be three choices after some stuff we went over today?
Okay.
Um, so like you could try maybe a piece of fruit, a half a cup of oatmeal, and half a bagel. Does that sound like something you would could eat or would you enjoy?
Not the oatmeal
Not the oatmeal. Okay. Um, we could.
with the fruit or the bagel.
Okay. So instead, if you aren't a fan of the oatmeal, we could get rid of that and then maybe a full bagel and a piece of fruit, or two pieces of fruit and the other part of the bag, or and then half of the bagel.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then just there's a great website on the American Diabetes Association that you could probably try to check out, play around with, and you can go from there. I'll give you some more information on that a little bit later.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So, are there any questions you have? Are there any goals you're trying to get to?
I would like to keep my sugars more under control than what they are and get my A1C down. And I think if I stick to the carb count that you're giving me, should help get that goal.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a really achievable goal, and I'm really happy that you came in to see us today. We could totally try to make this work together. As if you ever need anything, I'll be here for you. Um, and then another key component towards this, to help getting that kind of regulated, would be the physical activity. And uh, you a fan of physical activity or
If it involves shopping?
shopping? Okay, so I bet you had a lot of fun on Black Friday running
Yes.
around. Huh? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I could see that. But you mentioned how earlier how you like to go on walks at lunch or something like
Yes.
that? Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's actually a fantastic start. That's really great that you do that. Is there a way where you could incorporate it? Do you do that most days or?
When the weather cooperates.
Okay. So yeah, that's fantastic.